Okay. Well, it's about time I did what I was supposed. Yeah, this video about Star Wars. I'm a couple weeks behind on this one actually, because this is me just thinking out loud. Just crazy theory, I guess. So, a week and a half ago, the Mandalorian episode titled The Jedi with Ahsoka Tano came out, and I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. So, it's really cool to see Ahsoka. And Rosario Dawson didn't do a terrible job. But my opinion on it is, I also had just some issues with the writing and stuff for the character, because it kind of felt like it wasn't Ahsoka. She was just kind of super, I don't know, she wasn't as calm and collected as Ahsoka should be, really. She was too willing to fight and too willing to slaughter. And I mean, maybe she's just trying to, she just pissed and wants to get to Thrawn. I don't know. But I don't know, so I think it felt weird, to have Rosario Dawson instead of Ashley Eckstein, however you say it, the lady that plays Ahsoka in Clone Wars and Rebels. I don't know. I really like her. I really wish it was her, but then again, I also grew up on the Clone Wars. When the Clone Wars came out, I was the age of the intended audience for the show. So, it's kind of I really want her to do it, but it kind of struck me as weird that Filoni, being the person that he is, and all that, how he feels about Star Wars and gives the fans what they want. It felt weird to me that he had Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka and not Ashley. Especially since, what was it, 2 episodes before, he had Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan was played by Katie Sackhoff, the person who voiced Bo-Katan in both Clone Wars and Rebels. And so it was just seemed very odd to me that he would get Katie Sackhoff to do Bo-Katan, but get Rosario Dawson to do Ahsoka instead of Ashley. It struck me as very weird. And so I started thinking about it. I was like, okay, so why, what are some reasons that he would do that? Because he, I feel like he'd have good reasons. And so then I began to think, I was like, a while back at the start of the year, back in January, February, it was rumored that there was going to be a Rebels sequel show that would be animated like the art style of Clone Wars Season 7, which, frankly, side note, if that were the case, I would want it to be not quite like that. I'd want it to be a cross, a love the art style of the Clone Wars. I'm not the biggest fan of the art style of Rebels, especially thin lightsabers. Then again, it's really nostalgic to the original trilogy, which is really nice. So I kind of liked it, but kind of didn't. But I wouldn't want something. I'd want it to still feel like Rebels, but look better. And so I'd want it to be a cross between the Rebels art style and the Clone Wars art style. I'd want it to be a cross between that. Anyways, so I was thinking about it. I was like, well, an animated show turns a lot of older Star Wars fans off. I have several friends who won't watch the Clone Wars or Rebels because they're animated and kids shows, and they are somewhat kids shows. Like I said, I was part of the target audience for the Clone Wars when it first started and when it was coming out. That was my age demographic, and so it turns people off. I finally got one of my friends to start watching Clone Wars, and she absolutely loves it. And she's like, I can't believe I never watched it before. But anyways, and so the art style, it being animated, can turn people off. But a Rebels sequel, I don't think needs to be a live action. I feel like a sequel to Rebels needs to be animated, needs to feel like Rebels, all that. So, I was like, so if that turns people off, the animation, it being animated and looking like a kid show would turn people off. How better to get people, these more casual fans who a lot of people watching Mandalorian are casual fans because they watch that and like, oh, it's live action Star Wars, yeah, I'll watch that. But the anime stuff, I'm gonna stay away from that. It's for kids. So I was like, what better way to get people to watch this? A show that would start out about Ahsoka and Sabine looking for Ezra. What better way to get people to watch a show like that than to have Ahsoka in a live action show played by a big name actress, someone like Rosario Dawson. So then people are like, oh, Rosario Dawson's character Ahsoka is in this show. You know, Rosario Dawson plays a character, it's a really cool character. Oh, I love this character. She's in this show. What a way to get people to, you know, be into that. So it's like, that's where my head is. And so my thinking here is crazy theory is that the reason that because he cast like that just makes sense in my head because like how he knows what the fans want. He just the way he works, you know, because of that, because of casting Bo-Katan's voice actress as the live action actress, it just didn't make sense to me that Rosario Dawson is Ahsoka, and so my theory is that because of all that, there will be an animated Rebels sequel. It will have Ashley. This is be one of the I'm not gonna say the only, but one of the only live action appearances of Ahsoka, and that's why we got Rosario Dawson. Because like big whoop, now this is what Ahsoka is. She hyped it up. Now you can get these people to come watch this. And I mean, maybe there'll be. I mean, if they want to do more live action Ahsoka and other parts of Star Wars media, they can be like, oh, here's Rosario Dawson. We'll use her, but the main Ahsoka is Ashley, and she will always be my Ahsoka. Rosario Dawson will not. Rosario Dawson be like, yeah, she kind of played Ahsoka, but Ahsoka for me will always be Ashley. So yeah, that's crazy theory for today. Yep.